Hello, Decay here today with another episode of Minecraft Dinosaurs. And today we're back to do some stuff, I guess? I don't really know. So we're back on the world. I'm gonna go over a couple things before we get back into doing whatever the heck we're doing today. And what are those things? Oh, so for those of you who weren't aware, over the weekend we had a live stream, and yes, I meant to put this video up yesterday. I got sidetracked with a bunch of other stuff, so I didn't really have time. Anyway, though, we had a live stream over the weekend, and I'm trying to remember what we actually did on the live stream. I don't think we did anything here. As far as I'm aware, this is the same as it was. What did change? Oh. We'll get to this, actually we'll cover this first. So this isn't something that happened on the live stream necessarily, but this is something I worked on by myself, which is I took down most of the rock base over here, and as you can tell, the gallimimus are gone, which I'm actually very happy about because those little buggers are really annoying, and I'm not a big fan of them right now. Also, this was not on the live stream either, but in between the live stream, No. Oh. Okay. Whew. You're somehow ecstatic. Oh my gosh. That was not how I was planning to start this episode. Holy crap. One of the ankylosaurs suffocated in a block. It was the newest one we'd hatched, which I think is less bad now that we have the other one back, but still. Oh my gosh, we almost lost another one. Yeah, so there's some problems in this exhibit I need to fix, evidently. Oh my gosh, I did not want to lose another ankylosaurus. Which is one thing I brought up in my live streams, I think. Or maybe I didn't, but like, I haven't named dinosaurs in this series in a very long time, and there's a very good reason for that, and that is they die a lot because they get stuck in things they really shouldn't be able to get stuck in and start taking damage. Yeah, so that happens, which is really unfortunate. Anyway, nothing happened here other than that. If we head into this exhibit, our good old trike exhibit, well, one, our trikes are a little bit more grown up now, and two, all of our gallimimus are in here right now, currently, because, well, I wanted them out of their exhibit because we're gonna put something else in there. Speaking of which, I should really talk about that. So, now, obviously, I'm gonna preface this with, I don't know when this is happening. People have asked me before, like, oh, when's the next Fossils and Archeology update happening? I don't know, guys. I'm not really cued in with what the team is doing. But we do know in the next update we are going to get Diplodocus, which is a really cool sauropod, and I really like Diplodocus. And I'm very much thinking we're gonna stick Diplodocus in here in this little exhibit right next to the Brachiosaurs, kind of make this our little sauropod alley. Which means this whole area is kind of gonna get its own redo, probably expand it, make it a bit larger so we can fit more Diplodocus in. But that means we're not really gonna work there for a little bit. You know, we'll probably just kind of, I don't know, we'll just like leave it there for, I don't know how long we're gonna leave it like that. Well, probably until Diplodocus actually gets added, at which point I will therefore go forth and make the exhibit, I guess? Who knows? Oh, the dinosaur ate all my bread. Let's see. Okay, we do have one little update to show real quick of stuff that did happen on the live stream that I definitely remember doing, and that is we came through here and we finished off our Compsognathus exhibit. So as you can see now, finished over here, and finished over here. All I think I need to do now is just kind of carry the leaves up to the top of it and like put some trees along the top lip and stuff like that, and then it'll be completely done. And yeah. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. What else did I do? Did I do anything else? I'm very much trying to think here. Oh, I found out there was a secondary texture for the Dryos. I didn't realize they had a feathered texture, but they do. I'm gonna quickly run in here to see if we can see it. That is the male, and that is the female. It's a lot less colorful, but I actually really like how it looks for some reason. But I feel like I'll probably switch back to the default texture in a little bit, or not in a little bit, but like by next episode I'll probably switch back. But anyway, I think the only other change there's like 2 changes that have kind of happened since last episode. So we're actually gonna kind of ignore it for right now and just kind of go sleep real quick because it's getting pretty dark outside, you know, getting pretty spooky, nighttime stuff, you know. You know what I'm talking about, people? You know what I'm talking about. Let's just use one of the many beds I have placed around this park. So I guess today's episode is more going to be kind of like just talking and stuff. I don't necessarily think I have like a big plan for what's going to happen in today's episode. Hopefully we're going to get some work done. But some stuff that happened is I kind of changed up how this pathway looks. So now it kind of comes around here, and then we have this little like indent where it connects up into the bug house right here. And then instead of doing what I had planned, it just kind of goes straight forward over here, making this little area, which I remember saying like, oh, we could put a Dilophosaurus here. I don't think we will. In all honesty, we might put another small building in here somewhere, put a garden or something like that. We probably won't be doing much of a like exhibit in this area just because I don't really think there's that much space for it. And there's already a lot of animal like stuff over here. We have just over here, we have the Sarcos, the Dilos, bug house. Something's gonna go over here at some point. Something's probably gonna go over there. So like there's a lot of animals packed into this tiny little area, and I kind of want to spread it out a tiny bit more, so I feel like probably gonna do that. And the final thing that's happened since last episode, and this was more just yesterday, there were a couple reasons I didn't really have time to record yesterday, but one of them was I just kind of got sidetracked. I just started cutting down trees, and yeah, because I kept cutting down trees, it took up a ton of time. But we've cleared out a massive amount of this area over here, so we've got a lot of the big trees down and out. This whole area is just kind of ready to go. Speaking of which, I don't know, I wanted to talk about something today. Also, I also took down the cell because I don't even remember what the plan is right now. I had a plan, though, on how we were going to do something over here for the Platybelodons, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was. At any rate, I've got, and also one other plan. I'm going to mention this before we get into like the meat of what I want to talk about today, and probably it's working. I think we could probably work on the Platybelodon exhibit today. That's not a bad idea. Where I think I want to work on this like walkway over here. I don't like it. I don't like how it looks on the map. I don't really like how it looks here because we just have this really long diagonal and it doesn't look super nice. I think it's an interesting shape because I think this little area in here, this little triangle, is cool. I think it fits really well. It kind of gives a really interesting shape to the whole thing. But I don't like how it just continues like that. So we're gonna kind of figure out how to fix that in a bit, or in a few episodes time, hopefully. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about something today, and this is something I kind of realized yesterday. So, after doing some research, there's around 50 prehistoric creatures currently in Fossils and Archeology, which I've realized is actually a lot of animals. I mean, granted, we've stuck 5 of them in one building. We're probably gonna stick another 7 in another building and another 3 in another building. So like there's like several animals we're kind of gonna hide away into buildings, so we don't really have to do like, you know, big flamboyant exhibits type thing. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like I've realized there's a lot of animals already in the mod. And then I was talking to some friends yesterday because we all love Fossils and Archeology. We were all talking about stuff that's coming to the mod, and we all suddenly realized something. There's something like another 50 animals coming to the mod at some point in the future. somewhere around 50 new creatures, most of them dinosaurs, are coming at some point. Well, lots of pterosaurs too. So I realized all of a sudden, like, this park, I mean, granted, we don't know when those mobs are coming. They're supposedly, according to the Fossils and Archeology team, most of them are coming in what will be called the Paleontology update, which will add something like 30 or so brand new mobs. Granted, I'm gonna preface before people start asking in the comments, because people are immediately gonna ask as soon as I've said that, I don't know when that's happening. It could be this year, it could be 3 years from now, it could be a decade from now, for all we know. So don't count on it happening anytime soon, okay guys? Like, be realistic here. We don't know what's gonna happen, and we don't know when it's gonna come. But it'll be cool when it does. But that made me realize something. That's another 50 animals to add into this park. This park, granted, I mean, like, when we look at the map, it's kind of small. It's not the biggest zoo we've ever made. I bring this up quite often. It's not a super big park. I do think it's a much bigger park than I often give it credit for. I mean, for what? For how few animals we have, it's decently sized. And ignoring the mini-map, when you're actually walking through it, it's a decently sized zoo so far. Not a big zoo, but a decent zoo. But I don't know, the thing I've realized suddenly is that there's gonna be a lot of animals, and that I need to do a better job at future-proofing the park. And some of you guys might be like, what do you mean by future-proofing the park? Hello, my Chimeras. By that I mean making things so that should new mobs that can be added to certain things be added, we're already prepared for that. So the best example I can give right now is the bug house. And the fact that, is there another Meganeer that's escaped? There are a lot of them that I think glitched out of the exhibit. So I occasionally find them in the trees. No, I think it was just an error. Is my view distance super low? Yeah, it is. Put that back up to 12. That's usually what I play at. All right, like the bug house is a great example, I think, because to be honest, we've kind of finished off the building. The problem is, say the mod adds in another 4 bugs into amphibians. Where are we going to put those? So that gives us 2 options here. We either build a second bug house somewhere else, or we expand this one. Now, I think I've already actually done a good job at that because, well, we have this area up front over here, which, you know, should I need to, I could easily just take this pathway out, and if, like, say we build a garden here, bulldoze a part of the garden, expand the building itself, or go the other way into the hill and expand that way. So, although I don't think I've perfectly future planned this exhibit, I have somewhat future-proofed it, so that way, like, you know, should new creatures get added, we have space for them. But the main reason I'm bringing that up is because future exhibits and buildings like the raptor house I want to make, the aviary, the aquarium, those are all going to be very massive projects that are going to take tons of space and time and effort to build. And that's problematic to a certain degree because with such impressive, like, complicated builds, you know, you want your builds to have space. And I'd say have a problem with future-proofing my parks in that I mean, look at this world. Like, a lot of the things are packed together quite tightly, which means in the event that a lot of these exhibits need more space, or, you know, I need to be able to fit more buildings in, or more exhibits into certain areas, there just really isn't going to be that space. So, I don't know, it's an interesting concept to me, the idea of we have to think about in the future, we're gonna have to, like, double the capacity of the zoo, which is exciting because it means, well, I mean, I think that's super exciting because it means, one, we're gonna get a ton of brand new creatures to mess around with, which I think is gonna be awesome. I now remember exactly what I was doing here, so it was gonna be kind of like the trike exhibit. So we're just gonna start at this level, and then I don't have torches on me. Nope, we're gonna go get some torches. But it's exciting, the prospect of getting so many new animals, but it's also, I think, something anyone who's currently building a park, whether you record or not, needs to kind of take into account is that there is a high chance at some point you're gonna need to add a lot of creatures in. You kind of need to figure out how you're gonna do that. I mean, luckily, I think our world, at least right now, is pretty well suited to that. Because, I mean, yeah, if I hit this, like, we got lots of space back there. We got lots of space over on that side of the river, that, and like behind the trike and the brachiosaurs we haven't used in the slightest. So, like, our zoo, since it's still super young and we haven't really, whoa, massive flag spike there. Since our zoo's super young and we haven't really had time to build a lot in it yet, we're pretty well set for if that update were to hit like tomorrow or something, and suddenly there's all these new animals in. We're pretty well prepared to deal with that. However, it's like, you know, if, you know, I don't want it to be like we're 200, you know, if we were like 200 episodes in, say, 200 episodes into the series, and suddenly that update drops, and then, you know, we're just like scrambling because we have no space anywhere. I'm talking like, you know, usual Caden mess up where I've made like some mistake and there's like no space left anywhere in the park, which, again, this is Minecraft. There's technically infinite space for this stuff, so I shouldn't run out of space anytime soon, hopefully. Let me sleep, it is getting dark. We'll just run over to the bike house, actually, because there's a bed there and it'll be dark by the time we get there. But yeah, I don't know, I just think that's an interesting thing to talk about. And I think it'll definitely make certain areas of the park a bit more difficult to build, particularly flying exhibits, so aviaries, because I think there's at least 3 new pterosaurs being added at some point, at the very least 3 of them, which will probably all need their own individual things if they're anything like the pteranodon, because the pteranodon is like hyper aggressive and usually kills every other mob you put them with. Which means, you know, I probably want to keep them separated. So that'll be like 3 to 5 different aviaries. So like this whole, well, unless Quetzalcoatlus gets added, because I think they've said Quetzalcoatlus they wouldn't let the Quetzalcoatlus like be able to just fly from anywhere. Like would have to jump off a cliff, which honestly makes me think I would build my Quetzalcoatlus exhibit kind of more like a giraffe exhibit of sorts. So like, you know, it's just got some fences around and they can't really fly, something like that, because that to me seems a bit easier to do than building another massive aviary for them. But like, I don't know, there's a lot of new interesting logistical problems that'll be added with having far more animals in the mod, especially of certain types like pterosaurs. Anything that can fly really is going to be a whole new challenge to kind of contain and kind of figuring out how it's all going to work. So I don't know, I'm excited to see how things progress, how things are going to go in the future, what the future of Fossils and Archeology is going to look like. Because, you know, it's my favorite mod. It's, again, like, I've mentioned this before, because I think just about every single Dinos episode, somebody asks me a question along the lines of, when is Wildlife Park come back? And I will continue to say, Wildlife Park will come back when I want to. The next episode will come out maybe this week if I feel like it. The thing I think that some people assume is that it's like, oh, I want to record Wildlife Park a lot. It's like, oh, what happened there? I don't know. That is a Ceratosaurus. Oh, come on! Granted, I don't think we only have like 1 Ceratosaurus now. That sucks. Weren't they like our second animal? I really think they were. That's really, aw, that's sad. I thought Orion was our yellow Stegosaurus for a second though, so that would have. I mentioned this on my live stream. Like, I'm usually sad when the dinosaurs die. It's sad to see these creatures we made die, but like, I would honestly almost stop the series if like Tumbleweed died, because Tumbleweed is like my favorite dinosaur in the mod, and I love her immensely. She is amazing. I feel like he probably died back here. No? What happened? It's like I can't. Oh, okay, yep. this is the most annoying one in my opinion when it happens, is they're like, oh, how did it die? It got stuck under a tree. And I'm like, what? You know, like you're trying to tell me this big ferocious carnivore got stuck under a tree. Like, it's annoying. We'll get rid of the stone slabs. You got like infinite stone. I mean, I guess this is kind of gonna sound harsh too, but like, I mean, we only have one Ceratosaurus left, but that's not the worst thing. I mean, we need to redo the entire enclosure anyway. In fact, I'm very much considering moving them off the hill. I'm actually considering moving a lot off the top of the hill, such as my house. Because although we've lived there the entire series, I've pretty much always moved my house at the end of the day. I don't think there's been a dino series where I haven't gotten rid of my house at some point and moved it to some other location and stuff like that. Because usually it just comes down to, well, this main problem of I build my house somewhere that's usually ends up being like the center of the park. Now this one isn't as central as they usually are. Usually it's like, you know, my house would be like right on top of that hill that I built. But like usually I build my houses in like places where it doesn't really make sense to have a house. So we'll see. Either the house will stay there and just kind of get a new purpose, or we'll just leave the house there, I guess. I kind of feel like I'm gonna move it in the end and it'll go somewhere. I don't know, I feel more useful than it currently is. We'll see. That sucks. I hate losing dinosaurs. Again, it's why I don't really like naming them anymore, because, you know, there's all these weird little things I would not even think of them suffocating, and it's why, you know, now whenever I build an exhibit, I have to like work so carefully to try not to let there be any like of these one block gaps, but it's kind of difficult with the older exhibits, like the ones I originally built, because when I built those, that wasn't a problem necessarily. So, in fact, I feel like it really only became a problem with the last few updates. Like, all of the 8.0 updates really did that. So when I kind of, except for I guess the Mort. The Mort didn't have that problem, I don't think. Because I don't think they started dying in that one. Maybe they did, maybe the hitboxes were weird. I don't remember. But yeah, it's sad that we keep losing all the dinosaurs now. Because I don't like it. I'd like to have, you know, like whatever the first dinosaurs we put into any exhibit are, those are the ones we're going to have at the end of the series. But unfortunately, that does not usually seem to be the case. Okay, so I know I need it to be at least 3 because this third one is where the fence is gonna sit. So, there we go. I feel like this one's probably gonna look more reminiscent of the Triceratops exhibit, except I'm probably gonna fill it with a bit more water. We'll see. I don't actually know how big this exhibit's gonna be, because like, looking at it, we have a lot of space over here. So I've been trying to think what we're gonna do with it, and well, obviously we have a lot of space over here that I'd like to kind of reserve, like around this hill, especially for future bug house stuff. And I don't really want another exhibit so close, so what I'm thinking is we're gonna drag this path down along and it's gonna head up that way towards the mountain. But then we might have a second little offshoot come on down to this little area here, and then we'll put like another small creature back here. Perhaps like, maybe that could be a Dilophosaurus, because I still think the Dilophosaurus would be cool to have over by the bug house. I just kind of need to figure out what we're doing with that. Not much has happened this episode, has it? But that's honestly not too off par for recently, but hey, I mean, that's what I said I was gonna start doing, didn't I? So I was gonna start trying to take a more laid back approach to dinos. So we're just gonna kinda build this along here. I do think I need to start using more irregular path shapes though, because I think that's one problem I've noticed is like there's a lot of flat edge exhibit walls. I don't necessarily like that, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. I think elevation is actually the thing that would make the most interest for these exhibits. Kind of like the Triceratops, because the Triceratops, oh, and the Dilo. It's why I like the Dilo's fence so much, because unlike pretty much every other fence in this entire zoo, there's height change with it. I think the Brachiosaurus has that too, actually. So Brachiosaurus, Triceratops, Dilophosaurus, they all have this really cool elevation change with the fence, which I think works really well. So I think we're gonna try and do that over here with the Platybelodons, which will probably, in all honesty, be the fence lowering. Because, what, this pathway is the same height as the rest of the paths in the zoo. And it's gonna go up in that direction as we head into the mountains, but maybe it'll head lower in this direction and kind of go into this little valley over here or something. I don't know, we can see what'll happen. But anyway, I think we are gonna end the episode here. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you got some enjoyment out of this and like the cool stuff we know that's coming. I mean, there's so many cool animals we know are coming at some point. I might actually, you know what, leave it down in the comments. Would you guys like to see a video of me just showing you guys all the models for the planned dinosaurs and creatures in Fossils and Archaeology? Just like, we'll go through all the pictures, just look at them. I'll probably tell you guys like my favorites and stuff like that. And yeah. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Next episode, hopefully we'll get a bit more work done on the Platybelodon, and just see if we can get them in. Because I think the last exhibit I'm actually gonna like work on improving before the world download will be the Therizinosaurus. And once the Therizinosaurus is done, that might actually be episode 49. We'll get the Theres finished. And yeah, after that, the world download will happen. The world download will, I don't know what we're gonna do for that episode, but it should be a good one. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you've all enjoyed, and until next time, guys, see ya.